The spinning white wheel, Matt.
You are live.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen of Facebook land, YouTube world, and everything. Welcome to your weekly dose of Mauls, Balls, and all. Joining me this evening is a regular guest. He's our colleague. He's part of the crew here. It is Matt Boland. Also joining me is a friend to the show. She has been with us before. She's a great guest, a great rugby woman. She is she's a committee member of the OLSC, the official Leinster Supporters Club, for all those Munster fans watching. There you go. Mary Carroll, how are you? Are you well in yourself, Mary? Are you
good? Thank you.
Okay, and our special guest this evening, my God, his rugby CV is... Harry, I'm not going to go into your rugby CV because we'd be here all bloody night, but I will summarise parts of it. The Irish Sevens captain, he played for the LA Giltinis, which always sounds like a drink to me. He played for the Kalinga Black Tigers. He from the years 2015 to 2024, folks. This is bloody damn impressive. He had 183 appearances for the Irish Sevens team. In 2017, in the Moscow Sevens, he was the top try scorer. He is indeed an Olympian. Harry McNulty, how the hell are you? And you're very welcome. Are you well?
I'm great. Thank you so much. It was a nice little synopsis you had there, me. Long time since I was a top try scorer anyway. But
I think you scored 6 in that, Harry, didn't you?
Yeah, and I think that was probably the most I scored ever in my career. I don't know if I scored much more after that. So
It was a bloody good tournament for you and Ireland. Yes. Okay, now, folks, I just want to go before we go on to the list, Harry. This is something that I thought. It's something I want to ask you. And I agree with everything you said about this at the time. You were quite critical. I think everyone would agree with you at the time when the Sevens, this whole thing happened, and it was cancelled, and the IRFU said it was money and blah blah blah. Yourself and Terry Kennedy, folks, can watch it back. It's there. Is it still sore with you, Harry, or are you kind of going, well, yeah, whatever?
I think it's always going to be sore with me. I think, I spent my whole entire career playing for that team, and then was dismantled, over the course of probably 6 months, very silently in the background, and then it was given basically a very nice HR PR sort of headline as to the reason why it was broken down and dismantled. And it happens, with big organizations. They just want to be able to put out a little statement and then just pass it on, but there's so much more to it. And realistically, if the genuine reasons were given as to why a program is being shut down, then people that have been involved in that program can understand the reasons, or they might be able to accept them even if they don't agree with them. But when you're given a reason, say finances, but then you are very good friends with people who are friends with the people who give the finances, and you can get numbers and you can get an understanding the lay of the land, and you can do some simple mathematics, you start to kind of go, well, this isn't making sense. So it isn't finances, it's something else. And why not just say it is that reason? So I think it'll always be a hard one for me. I was very lucky that I left before that all happened and I had my career. I'm more sore for the guys who were just getting started, the guys who were looking to hopefully emulate something that I was able to do and have the career that I had and go to all these places around the world, play in the World Cups and Olympics and represent their country and their families very proudly. And that's just, taken away from them. So yeah, I'm very disappointed in it. And I think it's going to have a long lasting impact on the general output of rugby within Ireland. And it's just going to be hard to say when that would be or pinpointed at the time that's going to happen, but I feel like it will.
But there was an argument, Harry, that at the time when all this was happening, and you will be aware of it, excuse me, as we all are, that the money aspect, okay, that's one thing. But the women's sevens had a pathway to the 15s game, whereas the men's sevens didn't really have a similar pathway to the sevens. Now, there are obvious exceptions, Hugo Keenan, you know. Do you accept that argument, Harry?
Well, I think the women's game is obviously newer from a professional standpoint. So
yes,
sevens was an easier route to be able to upskill players at a faster rate, right? You get more touches, you get more one-on-ones, you find yourself in a position that's much more difficult in more continuously than like a 15s game where you might be able to stand on the wing or whatever. So like if you're building an entire program, it makes complete sense. From the men's point of view, this is another outlet as well as a place for players to come in and out and become better. So there's two aspects for it that I would see for the sevens for the men. So what? Well, maybe more than two, but I could speak on it.
Go on. We have an hour. We have an hour, Harry, to fill. So
sure.
Go on.
But in its entirety, one, you have more players playing professional rugby. End of, right? Like you have another team. Ireland is very small. We only have 4 professional teams for a club, you know, for the provinces. So there's only 4 outlets for guys. I never made it to play professionally in the 15s game. And then I was at the very first open day of the sevens program. And then I went on to have the career that I had. So I was either never going to play 15s professionally. And then I became a double Olympian and, you know, won a bronze medal in the World Cup and played for Ireland over 100 times, as you said. So that in itself is an amazing outlet for rugby players. Then 2, there obviously is like the headline names that everybody knows, Hugo Keenan, Jimmy O'Brien. But if you sift through the players that have actually been into the program from its inception and go through all of the clubs, like the provinces, you will see a very big number of players. So whether they actually got capped for Ireland sevens, maybe not all of them, but some of them had been in there for a couple of months and then they went back to their province. They've definitely upskilled themselves in some aspect, whether it is a pass, whether it is a one-on-one tackle, whether it is just general speed and like the resilience you need as a player to be able to do the training that we do. A lot of the 15s players really struggle with it because it is much higher speed, more repetitive in that nature, which you wouldn't really find yourself doing in the 15s game. So you actually can build up like a robustness as well. So there's elements that you can't even see on a pitch. So and same with like Hugo Keenan obviously is the main person we talk about, but he's always in the right position, never really makes a mistake, always seems to have a cool head. You build those opportunities through the sevens game. And then from there, you could also say that like the one of the arguments was that the academies were a better platform or a better use of money to train our rugby players in Ireland than a sevens program was. But like as you look through all of the nations around the world that are involved in the sevens game, any nation that isn't a tier 1 nation that is really good at sevens is using the sevens program, to bolster their squads. So if you go to the likes of Spain, if you go to Uruguay and Chile, like they are tier 2, tier 3 nations when it comes to rugby, but the sevens is where they're putting all their money to be able to become stronger and then become better players. And you're seeing that come all the way through. I mean, Spain sevens were second in the world last year. So like there is a space for the game. And when you look at historically the best teams in the world, they've always had sevens within their programs from varying degrees, but there's double World Cup winners in the South African squad. The way that South Africa are learning to, from the sevens game, like Quagga Smith now is covering the back row and he's covering the back line.
Yeah.
You've got players who are jumping across, and it's this whole new breed. It's a whole new hybrid. And I just feel as though Ireland can use that. We only have 4 teams. Why take away another team when you could be able to pluck out amazing talent? Why not send some young boys in there to train and play against some of the best athletes in the world, one-on-one, on a wide open field at full pace? And then after a while, they come back and they feel like the game slowed down so much for them in the 15s game. So there's lots of different elements to it.
Yeah, no. Really good points there, Harry, and thank you, Mary. I don't. Your opinion on this, Mary? Should the IRFU have done what they did? I actually don't agree with what they did.
No,
I agree with Harry. Sorry, go on, Mary. Yeah.
No, I don't think they should have it all. Even like recent players, like say Zach Ward, Andrew Smith, just coming from having successful 15s careers, coming out of the 7s as well. That's recent and not going right back to the beginning. But like the sport just came out of nowhere. They came from nothing, and the likes of Harry, one of the founding players, like brought, as he said, up to bronze medal in the World Cup, double Olympians. And to look back now and say, well, we're double Olympians, but our sport is now gone. There were people who aspired to be like them, young lads, and they would have thought, well, look what these players are doing. They're going to the Olympics. This is amazing. And it's just gone. Like, opportunities like that are gone. And it's just, I just think it's heartbreaking that it's something that Ireland was so good at. And it's just been abandoned. And it was through the work of those lads that were there at the beginning that got it from nowhere onto the world stage.
Yeah,
as totally major contenders, so.
I think 2 points to add on with Mary there as well. Like, say, Zach Ward. He was a back rower, number 8, who is now playing on the wing for Ulster. So actually coming into the 7s allowed him to prove himself on the world stage. He was actually the highest meters gained in the Olympics. So he was the number 1 in the Olympics across the whole tournament as most meters gained. And then he was obviously seen from the IRFU and then brought back to Ulster, but he was changed his entire position. They wanted to put him on the wing to be able to use his speed, his strength, his ball carrying ability to the best of its ability. So that's another player who it's easy to say now after the fact that he's playing for Ulster that he went well in the 7s. But if he never went to the 7s, he would never have become a winger from being a number 8 back row. No one's just going to stick him out in the wing all of a sudden and give him a professional contract to do that.
Yeah,
so like those are like the small nuances that seep through the cracks in terms of how important 7s can be to a nation. Yes, that doesn't really bring in any money. Fair enough. And it's not watched internationally to the same degree as the 15s. But at the end of the day, what are you trying to get out of it? Are you trying to keep as many players playing the game as possible, representing Ireland at an international level, as well as trying to find new talent? And like it adds all those. And Ireland was the last tier 1 nation in the world to get a 7s team, and it was the first one to pull it. In the space of 9 years, we did all that.
Yeah.
But Harry, let me ask you now. Matt, I'll ask you now just one sec. But Harry, I was watching an interview you did with, I think it was Virgin Media. You were talking about, and you were referencing the, and you just touched on it there. You reminded me of it. The revenue stream that was coming in for the 7s, for the women's, for the 15s, and so. But now, did I hear this right? The 7s brought in a bloody competitive amount of money to the rest of them. Was that what you were saying? Or did I get that completely wrong?
It's been a while since I had the exact numbers off the top of my head. But essentially, outside of the men's 15s game, the men's 7s team brought in the most amount of outside source income than any other team within the IRFU. So we have essentially the most sponsorship that any other team brings in outside of the men's 15s team.
Right. So,
essentially. So hence we are costing the IRFU the least amount of money.
Exactly. That's what I was
as a team. Yet we are the financial burden that was, proven to we were dismantled due to finances.
Okay, Mary, go in there. You're going to say something.
I was just saying the same thing. They're costing so little that they were the least expensive, and that yet they were pulled for a financial reason. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah,
So that's I guess
no.
what pulls our hair out.
Yeah,
All right, okay. I don't have enough hair to pull out, Harry. So I'll just argue my point. That's why I'm wearing a cap. Matt Boland, your thoughts on all this? The Sevens program. The reason it was pulled and the reason given by the IRFU, it was a financial thing. I could quote it here. I have the photograph there on my phone. But overall, Matt, what Harry said, what Mary said, it's a weak enough argument, really, is what the point is being made here.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, when it broke, we spoke about it at length, and I don't think there was many of us, even in the group, that agreed with what the IRFU were doing, and we all showed our support for the likes of Harry and Terry Kennedy and all that sort of stuff online. And, for the reason of the financial reason for cutting the program, it wasn't actually costing that much, as Harry has said. It wasn't actually costing the IRFU that much. And we spoke about how many different ways that they could do things slightly different to actually keep that program going. I'm not going to name any names, but there's substantial players that are being brought in to play in Ireland for various provinces, and stop that. There's your money. Do you know what I mean? It's really but again, look, we're just sitting at our couches at home talking about this and offering solutions, but for us, it didn't seem to make sense, because again, as Harry said, it's another way for players to if they're not getting their career straight away in 15s to go down the sevens route, gain that experience in one-on-one tackling, in speed, and build on your skills to then maybe get the likes of Hugo Keenan and Jimmy O'Brien, and we identified loads of players, including Zach Ward and a few Munster guys as well, that came into the 15s then because of that. And yeah, look, it still annoys me when I talk about it. It was something so valuable, and it was a spectacle as well to watch. Watching sevens was brilliant.
I loved watching it. I loved that.
You're taking something away again. That's the essence of the game, and the skill involved in sevens. I was knackered looking at the lads running on the sevens pitch at times, and I played rugby and know how much running I used to do when there was 15, 30 players on the pitch. I just couldn't even imagine. But it's just still such a shame to talk back and realize what they've done. I think it is a massive mistake.
Yeah, Harry, before we go on to the comments here that I see on the thing, do you think it'll come back ever?
It's very, very difficult. Unfortunately, when it was sort of dismantled, and then at the end of the season, the lads weren't able to, play to the best that they possibly could. So they were relegated from the World Series. But then in doing so, IRFU didn't send the lads to Europe this year. So because they didn't play in Europe, they were actually relegated from Europe. So they basically went back to square one when I started in 2015. So you're looking at, if it was to be brought back, that it would have to basically start from square one again and go through the ranks and make your way up to the beginning again. You don't just put a team together and go to the World Series again.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I don't know, the women as well, it'd be very interesting to see what their program has going for them in the future. I could very easily see that it would be absorbed fully into the 15s program, and then they're just released for the 7s. So technically it's not dismantled, but at the same time, it's not a full-time 7s specific training program. It's girls who are good at rugby getting sent over to a tournament and coming back. So, kind of kept behind closed doors almost in a way, which could very easily happen if that's what they've done to the men on that side. I wouldn't be surprised if they start to kind of peel that off on the edge. And then I know I can ramble about this all day, but even from just a sport in Ireland, to grow the game of rugby, there's always this talk of clubs can't fill out teams and there's not enough kids coming to training, and obviously the competition for football and GAA. If you've got 14 kids down in, West Kerry somewhere, and you can't get a game anywhere, you can literally play a game of 7v7 against each other. Mm-hmm. And then if the club next door or down the road can get another 14 kids, you can have a tournament of 4 teams internally between those 2 clubs, where you were fighting to have not even 2 teams being able to play one game of 15s against each other. So even for younger kids or for smaller clubs around the country, you've got access to actually playing games, and you can create tournaments or little competitions against each other very, very easily and very quickly. Is that not what we want to do? The RFU always talking about growing grassroots and all that type of stuff. These are small ways to do it, and you can use the game of sevens to do it.
Yeah. Yes.
Very
effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, Mary.
No, I was just saying very effectively what Harry's just, that you only need a small amount of players to get a tournament going, as opposed to 15s as well, from grassroots.
But isn't Harry bang on though, Mary, when he says if you have 14, 15 players, you could have, 2 teams play sevens, another parish or another school or whatever the hell it is. Have I know, yeah. Have 7 or 4. Do you know what I mean, Mary? So, was it a bit premature of the IRFU to say, nah, we don't want sevens anymore?
Well, I think so. I think we all think that.
Yeah, no. I think so. Yeah, no.
It doesn't make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense to bring in so much financially and costing the least, as we've just said. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay. Harry, before we move on, let me ask you just one quick question. If the IRFU in a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever the hell it is decided to bring back the sevens, and you got a call, Harry, we want you involved, would you get involved?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
I don't know if they'd call me now after what I said, but I'd 100% but it's coming from a place of I understand the vision of the sport and how important it is. And you can obviously hear how passionate I am about all the aspects, not just about getting to run around and travel the world. I'm talking about opportunities from club level. I'm talking about opportunities for the women's game and opportunities for players to come in and out. So I have, I'd like to think, a pretty good overarching understanding of how sevens can.
But you've literally done that
all of Ireland.
You've literally done that from nothing. You were there when it was all just starting off. You know what went into it.
Yeah, exactly. I know what went into it. I know what you can get out of it. And I'd love to have that possibility and opportunity for other people to be able to experience, because it was so amazing. So.
Harry, how important is that? And the attitude, the desire to get there. And the reason I'm asking you, Harry, is because we have a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-old folks who watch this. They might not be watching it now, but they're watching on playback. We get messages about it, or great guest, or you should have asked them this, or heard that, or whatever it may be. So the attitude to get there, Harry, is that on the training pitch, or is that in your head? Now, what I mean by that is the attitude to succeed. Is that a personal thing, or is that on the training pitch, or is that coached into you, or what is it? Or is it a mixture of all?
There's varying elements, and I think different players sway in and out of different levels of each one. So some will be very focused around the pitch and doing lots of extras. Some other guys would be very focused within the playback and going and looking at the training sessions afterwards and kind of going into detail and working with the coaches on different levels of it. Then, I guess in your upbringing as well, what kind of coaches did you have? Did you have someone who's really drawn a hard line and sort of having this fear element where you don't want to mess up or you don't want to be late and, making sure that you're kind of always doing the right thing? Or some guys are maybe a little bit more fluid and aren't the best trainers, but they play really well in games. So for me, I came late to the game. I was like 14 when I started playing. I was in Rockwell College, so I wasn't making any team until I was in 5th and 6th year when I managed to make it onto the senior cup team and started to get a bit more of a taste for it. So I think definitely what was great about the sevens as well was like I was able to build my confidence in and around actually how much I was playing, right? So I think that's a massive thing for kids. And probably the easiest way to also get kids to kick on is the feeling as though that you can bring something to the team, or like the coach wants to put you on, or wants to play. You know, this whole thing of like, I know we're 2 points down with 2 minutes left to go and it's such an important game. But it's like, if you don't get brought on, or you get brought on for a minute, no one's getting anything out of that at all. It's just really difficult. Whereas, you know, do the bomb squad for under 14s. Do the bomb squad.
Oh, don't mention the bomb squad. Jesus.
All right, I mean that in the terms of bring on 5 kids, like bring them on for the last 40 minutes.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right. Or the last 30 minutes when they're underage, and let them get time to play and feel as though that they are getting confident and getting a chance. Because when I was playing, I got that with the sevens, and like I was playing lots of minutes and I was understanding the game and I was learning and I was feeling like, yes, I'm really getting involved in it and being a part of it. So I think that's a really massive thing from like maybe a coaching point of view more so. But that allows the other side to develop, because once you get a bit more of an understanding of something and you've had the reps and done it in a game, you see it. It's really transferable. So then from a player point of view, yes, it is mainly on yourself to make those right decisions, right? Like, do you want to go away on with the lads over the whole summer and then you miss, say, if you're under 18s, you miss your interpros? Would you rather do that? Then obviously, like, you're not really going to be able to push on. Or it's like, no, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to do the interpros. I'm going to give it a crack. I'm going to play and never know what happens. And then getting stuck in as well, like looking for other opportunities. I remember playing with lads who would play under 20s on the Saturday, but then they would put their hand up for the seconds on the Sunday and to try and play 2 games the weekend, you know, things like that, for an extra game, and see if they can get involved, because the seconds obviously are always looking for players to come and play for them with numbers.
Yes.
So looking for those types of opportunities and to learn. And, you know, sometimes it's good to go and like put your hand up if you're doing a semester abroad, or if you've got summer off and it hasn't quite clicked for you, like maybe go to Spain or go to Holland and play in like a league that maybe isn't as strong as here, but you're a better rugby player maybe than the team that you're going into, a league that you're going to, and you get that confidence back and you go, actually, do you know what? I know how to play this game really well. And you put yourself in an environment where you can have more time on the ball and make your tackles and get the minutes in, which everybody wants. And then you come back to hard and you're refreshed. You know, wow, I can do this. So there's
Harry, I'm taking your advice. I'm fecking off to Spain for a week next week. Right?
Yeah, there you go. Do it.
No, I am genuinely. Yeah. Mary, let me ask you then. Let's move on. Thank you, Harry. Great points and well made. Well made.
God, what are you going to ask me?
No, I'm going to ask you about the Spanish game, the women. That's all. Did you watch it?
Yeah? Yes.
Go on.
Well, what? I think we're doing brilliantly.
I know we were. I know, but I want to give Harry a break, and then we'll come back around. But go on, the Irish women against the Spanish women. Did you watch the game?
I did.
Yeah, it wasn't as easy as we might have thought, or sorry, as was predicted.
But I didn't think it would be anyway.
All right, okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it. I mean, everybody always predicts, oh yeah, it's Spain or whatever. They're not known as a great rugby nation, and you know, we're never like assured to just beat anybody. But like we've been doing so well, I just think I wouldn't have predicted that it was going to be easy anyway. Yeah.
What did you think of the performance though of the women, Mary? I tell you what, I thought it was annoying me at times because of the stupid mistakes, the knock-ons.
There was a lot of unforced errors, but I don't know. I think it's just on the world stage that they're playing as well. There's nerves and there's so much expectation and so much hype and so much resting on their shoulders. I think it's a lot of that. And I just think it takes them a while to, I know they played a few matches, but even during each match, it takes them a while to settle.
Yeah.
And it's a huge stage that they are playing on. They're always, well, invariably underdog. So it's a big challenge for them all the time.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I think they're gelling together a bit more as the games go on as well, though.
And I agree, Mary. And of course, we have a couple of players that are due back. Miss Wafer being one of them.
Yes, yeah. But again, it's like how often do the women's team actually play together? As opposed to say the men's team, they get a lot more play time as one team. The women's don't. And even like with the Interpros, we just finished the Interpros there. There's so few matches in the Interpros. They don't get a lot of game time compared to the men's team.
Any way to change that, Mary?
Yeah, well, I think there should be like something like the URC or something for women. Like they're just playing they're just playing. The provinces are just playing each other every year, and that's it. Then game over, like it's finished already. After 3 weekends. So I think they just need an awful lot more game time. It would be good to even play against the UK teams as well in some sort of a tournament like that.
Mary, take it out of whatever job you're working at. Go work for World Rugby. Get the URC off the ground. Sort. Genius. Genius. Matt Boland, before we go on, you tell me what did you think of the Ireland women against Spain? Now I know because we were talking about it, and then I'm going to go on to the comments that have come in. Go on, Matt. Give us a brief.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, you got to remember Scott made like 9 changes or something to the team as well to give the rest of the team some game time as well. So in that respect, they did quite well. Like they started really well, got 2 early tries, and to be honest, I thought, Jesus, this could be a really bad day for Spain. But you got to credit Spain. Like, I mean, they came back into it. They never put their heads down. They did the best they could, and their mauling was unbelievable. Like when they got a line out and set that maul, it was poetry in motion. Really, they were class, and they got a lot of points from the maul and gained a lot of ground from the maul. So they played their strength, and you got to, but like again. The Ireland, the ladies, they dug in deep. They came out in the second half, and there was a couple. I think Sam Onnan went off injured. There was a couple of injuries there as well. But look, Eve Higgins and Dalton in the centre, they're just
brilliant.
They're brilliant.
Higgins is a terrier. She goes.
She's unbelievable, and she's just so aware of what's going on around her, and she does things that will be of massive benefit for the whole team. You saw it against Japan where she got that intercept try when Japan were banging on the door, and she nearly had it again against Spain, and just their whereabouts and like their tackling and their recycling of the ball and holding on to the ball when they get tackled and their players pile in and protect. It's brilliant to watch. It really is. And it's such a great game. Like they're unbelievable. They really are unbelievable. And I was listening today, they were talking about Aoife Wafer. She's now probably going to be named on the bench and get some time. And they said like she's primed, she is ready, and she's chomping at the bit to get going as well. So,
but hold on, Matt. Now,
go on.
I don't mean to. Now you know me. I don't mean to interrupt or cut across you.
You do, of course.
I know I don't. I'm going to ask everyone. Harry, Mary, Matt, is the game against the Black Ferns worth it? Because we are qualified already. So why would you risk a player like Aoife Wafer for this particular game? Why would you? Why would he bother? Go on, Harry. I'll let you go on that.
I find it's twofold. It's a great question because it obviously is risk reward. So, one reason would be that if you're in a World Cup, you want to try and showcase to everybody how good of a team you really are. So when you play against someone like the Black Ferns, like, do you want to stick a message out to everybody and go, like, we are through, but you know what, we're going to stick it to them, and like actually put out a message and go, yeah. And that also gives you a lot of confidence too going forward, even if you don't win, let's say, but you play an unbelievable game. Yeah, you can actually put out a big message going, we're here, we're ready to play, and we're not going to shy away. It doesn't matter what the result is, or what like that we're through, what the results around us are like. Or the other way to go about it is, yeah, we can just put out a team and just get a bit of experience. But then sometimes that can have the knock-on effect that if you do get blown out of the water because you put on a really young squad who haven't really played much and the Black Ferns go for it, that if you get beaten really well, the next game you're kind of starting again and you're trying to get going again. You kind of maybe got a bit of a knock, even though you shouldn't really, confidence-wise. So, I mean, might as well. Why not? Give it everything. Have fun.
Give it a lash. Give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it a go. Go on, Mary. Would you agree with Harry what he said there?
Yeah.
Or, like, I kind of have a bit of I'm always a bit skeptical about stuff. If I was Bemand, I know the point you're making, Harry, about the look and the attitude, the confidence, and all that, and I agree with it. But would I risk wafer for this game when it kind of doesn't really mean anything? Mary?
I think every game means something. I think you always have to put your best out, put your best forward. As you just said there as well, it's not just putting a message out to the Black Ferns, it's putting a message out to everybody else in the tournament. We're serious. We're not to be messed with. If they beat us, they beat us. We'll put on a bloody good show.
Yeah.
You
right.
have to show everybody else there what you're like as well. If you go out and do a mediocre performance and you're hammered or whatever, yes, you do have to start back from scratch, building up that confidence again, and other teams will see you as weak. I think you always have to put your best performance on, always.
So, Mary, you would agree with Scott putting out his best 23?
Yes, I would.
Okay, all right, okay.
Thanks, Mary.
Matt?
I know it's a risk, but I would.
All right, okay. Matt, would you go along with what Harry and Mary have said? I don't know, would you?
Look, it's a double-edged sword. You know, like you run the risk of not putting out your best squad and getting the team a good solid loss, and then that affects morale, that affects momentum, you know, and it just depends on the resilience of the girls or any team. It's not just girls; it'd be women or men as well. You know, I like having Aoife Wafer, like bringing her back straight into the fold is probably not a good thing. In terms of she's only just come back from an injury, you don't want to aggravate that. But again, you look at it then, she hasn't really had much game time. You don't want her going into a more important game, maybe in the quarterfinals, where it's knockout rugby and she's not up to game standard. So, like, for me, I would always, like, on a world stage, especially in a World Cup, you'd want to be putting out your best squad. And, you know, the whole Aoife Wafer thing, like, it's massive risk or reward. You know, you want her to get a little bit of game time to make sure that she's battled ready, battled hardened for the important game, but you don't want her to get a relapse of her injury and then she's not going to play again. But like, that's where it's difficult. But in terms of, like, you're up against the Black Ferns, they're going to put out their best squad because their record.
They are the Black Ferns, and that's what they do.
They are the Black Ferns. It's just what they do, not only in women's and men's, probably in any sport that they play down there. It's all or nothing, basically. But, you know, they got to do the same. We got to do the same. And the record, the Black Ferns record against the Ireland women is not so great in recent years. So, like, there's going to be there's no fear in either squad either, you know, and probably the Black Ferns are probably more fearful of this game against Ireland than we would be of them, if you get me. So by all means, like if the best team is there, available, ready, they are one of the favourites to win it. Why not go all out and get a good result and show everybody this is why we're here. We're here to compete. We're here to play. We're not afraid of anybody. You know, go for it.
No, absolutely. Kabir, you just remind me something there, Matt. Harry, New Zealand have. I just popped into my head, as these things always do. New Zealand have a basketball team. Do you know what their nickname is?
Tall Blacks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I think that's brilliant. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think that's
I
brilliant.
haven't heard that.
The Tall Blacks. Anyway, okay. Sorry, I meant to just go. I think it's brilliant. There's just a few comments coming in here. Danny Brosnan, our colleague, Dave Kelly, 7-star for you. I don't know what you're talking about there, Danny. Gregor Galway, evening all. Bev Anne-Marie Burke, evening all. Hope you're well. Let me just see here. Hiya, Bev. Now, going back to what we were talking about earlier, I don't agree with what the IRFU has done. It's a lame excuse when they get given a grant of just under 5 million by the government, which covers the costs for both men's and women's sevens. But it's sad knowing our men won't win the Olympics. Yes, there you go. Harry, you might have something to say about that. Gregor Galway, Bev Anne-Marie Burke, Megan Augusta, and your popcorn really sevens. Yes, it's a very contentious issue, this whole sevens thing.
It's still wrong with people as well.
I'm glad it's reached far, through the community.
Listen, we talk about it here a lot, and we also support the women's game as well. Dara Weston, also our other colleague. What gain did the IRFU get from the men's sevens being axed? They can't have saved enough to offset all the reputational damage and backlash Ireland has traditionally punched well above its weight. Yes, absolutely, Dara. In rugby, having the IRB and the World Rugby headquarters and being one of the grandfathers of rugby in history, and it defies logic why we would not want to be represented everywhere rugby is played, both the 15s and the 7s. Yeah. Harry, I think you will love that comment.
I do, and it's a point that I made at one of these lunches before, was also like the marketing that the sevens can do for the IRFU in general is huge in terms of getting into the communities, right? Like if the IRFU wanted to pay a marketing company to try and push the IRFU through Hong Kong, Singapore, Vancouver, Perth, like they'd have to spend a lot of money to be able to get.
Harry, they could just pay us to talk about it.
Well, that's true. But we go to those countries, we go to those cities, and we get involved with the communities as well. Part of being on the World Rugby Sevens circuit is that you have to do some sort of community, whether you're going to a rugby club, whether you're going to a school, and doing a little bit of interaction, a little bit of training, taking some photos. So at the end of the day, there is a young kid at a club, say in Singapore, there's a great club, the Singapore Irish, that are down there, right? We go down, we meet all them, we take some photos. That kid at that instance will realistically never meet one of the 15s players, ever, because Ireland are not sending the 15s team down to Singapore to go play a game, right?
True.
That is an interaction between a young Irish kid, or he doesn't have to be Irish, just in the Singapore Irish club, that gets to meet an Irish international, albeit for 5 minutes, and take a photo. That's worth its weight in gold for anybody abroad, and having that connection back. So even that, at the end of the day, in terms of writing off for finances, I think you're losing out, basically. Like you're trying to spread the word of Irish rugby in the IRFU, and we're doing that already as it is, as well as playing. And then even in the stadium, there's so many Irish that are out there, and it's like they get to bring their kids to the stadium to watch Ireland play.
Yes,
they may never actually have a chance to go to Dublin and watch a game in Dublin. So now Ireland don't get to play in Hong Kong, so now they don't get to see that team play, or the women will be there, but in that regard, it's just there's one less team to be able to support further afield. So I think it's a great comment in terms of not only is it great for the game, but as well as expanding the word of the IRFU and rugby and getting involved.
Yeah. No, a good point, Harry. Mary, would you agree with what Harry just said there? I actually, I'll rephrase that. Mary, I don't think anyone would disagree.
Disagree, yeah, exactly.
With what
But
Harry
just
just
a
said.
point came into my head when Terry Kennedy won the World Sevens Player of the Year. And you remember the following year, Harry took a year out. So he was with us in Dubai at the Sevens as a non-player, just in his cash, whatever, his regular gear. And the amount of kids that were running after him in the stadium and running around, they weren't Irish kids, they were from everywhere. There's Terry Kennedy. Oh my God, there's the Irish Player of the Year. And well, he was the World Player of the Year. And it was just fascinating to see these little kids that would never, have access to an Irish player running around, recognizing him not in his gear or whatever, and just following them around the place like they were in awe. And like that's just part of what it is, And it's a global reach as well to places where the 15s would never go. It's just
brilliant. It's brilliant, Mary.
fabulous.
I think it's fantastic for kids for the likes of Terry Kennedy and Harry to go to these places and meet the kids, get their photographs taken.
And then when say people in the Irish kids, even over in Hong Kong or Irish families, they're never going to see 15s players over there. And they could see sevens. Like there's so many different places where the sevens go worldwide.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, very true, Mary.
Sorry,
go on. Sorry, Mary, go on.
No, I'm finished. No, it's okay, yeah.
All right, okay. Sorry, Mary. Go on, Matt. Your thoughts on this the global reach of the sevens, as Harry has said, and Mary has backed up, and I agree with everything that has been said. I think it's just a shame that is now gone.
Yeah, well, look, Harry put the nail on the head, really, because it was going to places like Singapore and Dubai and all these other places. I can't even list them all off, but where 15s wasn't going to be. And as Harry said, like kids were going to meet players from Ireland, but probably from everywhere around the world that they wouldn't normally get to see 15s players like. And you're taking that away, but you're also taking away the what's the word I'm trying to say?
The joy, the experience.
Yeah, the experience. You're taking it away from these places that don't have this, and you're putting the interest in the game in these places that like Singapore, where they wouldn't have much rugby. They probably don't have like massive teams, or it's probably only a small community. And it's getting the interest there in these places that wouldn't ever have the chance, and that's what they're losing out on. And like, it's just look, we could speak for ages on this, and we have done in the past. It
yes.
just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
Yes.
It's talk about shooting themselves in the foot, like.
No, I totally agree, Matt. Yeah, I totally agree. And we're coming to we have 10 minutes left. Just a couple of more comments. Mike Sheedy, everyone should remember Irish women's team only a few games together, 2 wins. They're getting better every game. This Sunday they will win by 7. Mike, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, it's about having a few beers time, Mike. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Bev Ambery, Wafer needs to play off the bench for 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, I totally agree, Bev.
Yeah. That would be my stance on it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can't just straight from the start. Yeah, okay. Let me just see. There's another comment here. Gregor Galway agrees with you, Bev. Okay, an offshoot that was also on the list. Harry, I want to ask you. We've had Matt Williams on the show talking about this. We've had Charlie, the ex-England out half and British and Irish line, Charlie Hodgson. He was on last week talking about this. The power of the French clubs, Harry, and the money that is in the French rugby business system. Yeah, thanks, Mary.
It is a business. You're right.
It is a business, yes. But Harry, is that a good thing? Now, where this initially came from was this whole idea of a rugby calendar, a global rugby calendar. Yep. I don't like the idea, but it was also pointed out to me that it would never happen because the French would never agree to it. Harry, your thoughts on all this money in the game?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Probably, I don't know if I have enough experience or knowledge about it. But realistically, like what is happening in the French domestic league, you can just see that it's so well supported. Like one of the clubs brought out their season tickets and like they were sold out within a day, and like the locals can't get enough of it. So I believe that they're doing something right, and the money that's involved in it is allowing that to basically foster an amazing tournament throughout the year that the French really get behind. And obviously they don't really get behind some of the other stuff that goes on. They kind of
Yeah, well,
send their second team abroad and all that kind of, I know, kind of messes that around a bit. But like, if we're trying to think of why isn't rugby bigger internationally in terms of just like the size and the capital and like everything behind it, when we compare it to sports like in America, obviously that's like the pinnacle in terms of the money and the contracts, and even football over in England. Well, no one else is doing it like France, and they seem to be pushing themselves in that direction. Right? We're kind of trying to hold everything down. We need the salary caps. We can't have too much of this. We can't have too much of that. It's unfair here. It's unfair there. They're like, let's go at this in its entirety, and let's really just try and bring the best of the world here. Let's have the best product that we possibly can. Let's build this tribalism almost with the cities that we have and going back and forth, and let's create something amazing. And now obviously it's getting to a point where they're paying their players so much money they don't want them to go play internationally because it's unfavorable for them. Like, I think they're put themselves in like a position that it's almost good for the game, because rugby needs to kind of almost catch up and expand and be able to get up there and compete and want to have this amazing show. And I guess that comes with it. If you're being successful, the money comes with it as well.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna just say something here now. 1 second, Harry. Just
Please.
one comment coming in here from Dara. Red Bull buying Newcastle Falcons could be the start of foreign money coming into the Premiership in this in 2 or 3 years. We could see Toulouse, not even in the top 5 richest rugby teams. Okay, Harry, Mary, Matt, you've seen it. A guest that we've had on the show before, the ex-Ulster and Ireland player Justin Fitzpatrick. He writes articles for our associated website, ruckthis.ie. He said, actually, Mary, I'll ask you, he was saying that Toulouse's budget, Mary, is 55.6 million a year. That is massive. You know, these are all privately owned. Now I tell you, Mary, right? Stade Francais is owned by a German-Swiss billionaire, Hans-Peter Wild. He owns Capri-Sun. Montpellier. Yeah, there you go. Montpellier is owned by a Syrian billionaire. Note the frequency of billionaire being said here. He's a scaffolding magnate. His name is Mohammed Al-Trad, Jersey, Al-Trad. Racing 92 is owned by Jackie Lorenzetti, who surprisingly also serves as the club owner, which doesn't normally work. Normally the owner takes a background and just lets someone else run the business. And the last one, Stade Rachel, is owned by several shareholders, including the club president, Vincent Merling. Haven't a clue what he does. Mary, I suppose the question, as I asked Harry, is there too much money in the French game? Is it kind of wrecking the rugby buzz a bit, Mary?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's just going to turn into like soccer. I don't mean to turn into soccer, like they're not going to change the ball shape or anything.
Yeah, no, I know it.
I think it'll end up with whoever has the most money is going to have the best team. And I don't know. I just think it takes a lot of the grassroots and the whole build up that you have of players training and coming up and being proud of where they're playing for. They're just going over where the money is. And I don't know. I just think like treating it as a business as opposed to a sport, it's going to have I think it'll have a negative effect.
And the other thing, Mary, is, of course, a knock-on effect of this is that the FFR, the French Rugby Union governing body, has very, very limited control over some of the top 14 teams,
Yeah.
unlike Ireland. And I don't think that's a good thing, Mary. I really don't.
No, no. It's just like there's just sort of not there's different regulations all over the place. Then they can all sort of do what they want. But I really do just think like you're going to end up with a Manchester United type team, and then well, I was going to say Grimsby, but maybe that's not the best choice at the moment. But like it'll end up with a Millwall or something. I don't know. I just think it takes the whole good out of it if it's just based on money and who can afford the best
Well,
players. I mean, that one team buying all the good players, they just win everything.
but then the other thing, Mary and Harry and Matt, the example of this, the power that the clubs have is La Rochelle taking Will Skelton out of the Rugby Championship to go back to La Rochelle to prepare for their opening game against Bordeaux. He's not injured. They said, no, we want him back. So he's gone out of the Rugby Championship. It's to the detriment of Australia. So,
Yeah.
That's what annoys me about this. Matt, before we go on to our last topic, and then we must need to wrap it up. Matt, your thoughts on this, the money aspect in French rugby, is it wrecking the game?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we spoke about this at length before, and especially with Matt Williams, and he gave us some really insightful information about French rugby. And yeah, look, the fact that they're all privately owned, and they're the only country that their local teams and the club teams are privately owned. Everywhere else is owned by the federation. So, like, they're the only ones doing it that way. And as much money as comes into France rugby, they have too much power now because of that, and they have that pulling power where they can just go, well, no, we're paying Skelton's wages. He's coming back to play for La Rochelle because we need him, and maybe that is kind of ruining it. Like if I'm sure the Australians are annoyed that they don't have Skelton now for the rest of the championship as well. So look, we can't fix it. We don't know what's the best way to do it. Is it a case where the World Rugby put their foot down and go, say to France,
they won't.
They won't. Look,
they won't.
That's what I'm saying.
They won't, Matt. They won't.
Of course, because it makes too much money. But is it a case that they should be capped? Their wages should be capped, or not the wages. Their spending should be capped per
season.
Spend
and ownership.
Yeah. I don't know.
Would you agree with what Mary said, Matt? Would you agree with what Mary said, Matt, that it's going to turn into a kind of a Manchester United thing? I've no interest in football whatsoever. That the richest clubs get the best players. Is that the way French rugby is going to go?
It's quite possible. I mean, Toulon did it there not so long ago, where they had like a massive budget and they nearly won everything. They won the top 14 and they were winning Champions Cups for fun as well. Like, and you don't want that. Whereas, as Mary has alluded to, you don't want a billionaire to come in and just go, right, well, I'm going to buy Sia Khaleesi, I'm going to buy fucking Ardi Savea, and I'm going to have all the best players playing for a club team. That will ruin it. It will ruin it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Listen, folks, I'm just, as always, conscious of time. Just a quick one there. Rachel Martin, hi, Mary. Killing it as always. There you go. All right. Okay, folks, we are nearly out of time. But what we want to do is, Harry and Mary, you probably know this. What we do is towards the end of the show, we look forward to the games coming up next weekend. Okay. Now, just 4 games I picked out, Harry. We'd like a win, a lose, or a draw prediction, right? Actually, no, Harry, I'll leave you last because you're our guest. Matt, I'll go to you. I'll go to you first, Matt. Okay.
No problem.
We have in the Rugby Championship, Australia versus Argentina.
Oh, do you know what? That's going to be an absolute belter of a game, and I'm on the fence on this one. I really am. I would love to see Australia do it, just because everybody was writing them off at every step of the way, and they've really come into some good form. And like the championship is now wide open. Any of them, they're all nearly on level points, and it's great to see. I think it'll be Australia. Home advantage has got to be a good thing.
Yeah. All right. New Zealand versus South Africa. A game I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, this is the game. Eden Park, the fortress. They haven't lost there since '93, as Matt Williams told us.
Yeah.
Springboks, they're hurting. They didn't perform very well against Australia. I don't think they'll beat the All Blacks in Eden Park.
No.
It's just too much.
Okay, and the last two, Matt, we'll quickly. The English women are playing Australia.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's going to be a good game, but I don't think. I'd say Australia might be in it till halftime, and then they'll get blown away in the second half.
Okay, and of course, the Black Ferns are playing the Irish women.
Listen, I am never, ever going to go against an Irish team. So
I know that. Yes, I know.
Ireland ladies are going to do it by a score.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Matt. Mary, to you, same questions. In the Rugby Championship, Australia versus Argentina.
Argentina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they will.
Our old pal Les Cusworth will be happy with that. New Zealand versus South Africa, Mary.
New Zealand.
Okay. The English women versus the Australian women.
England.
All right. And the Black Ferns playing the Irish women. Mary.
Head or heart?
Go on. Go either or. Go on.
I'm going to say Ireland. I have to.
All right. Okay.
Yes, Mary.
Put the pressure on me
Okay.
here, Mary.
Yes.
That's hard.
Okay. Right, Harry, final voice to yourself. The Rugby Championship, Australia versus Argentina.
Australia to win.
I'm the only Argentina.
Oh, look at you. Jeez.
I think the second one is New Zealand, South Africa.
New Zealand against a draw.
You could be fecking right.
Yeah, you could be.
Okay. The English women, Harry, against Australia.
England will win.
Yeah.
All right. Harry, I'm so looking forward. Now, I've said this before. I don't know if they can meet, but I'm looking forward to England versus Canada. That's a game.
That'll be a good game.
That'll be a bloody good game. Okay, and Harry, last one: the Black Ferns against the Irish women, and then we really have to wrap it up.
I think head versus heart, Mary. I'm in the same boat as you, but I think way for starting fully fit, Ireland win. But I think not having the full firepower, I would say New Zealand just on the edge. But doesn't matter because they're already through and it's a pool game. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, folks. Listen, thank you. Thank you very much to everyone watching who sent in a comment. If you want to be notified when we are live in the future, just all you have to do is click subscribe on the YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. It will be also, this show will be available on Spotify. I'll put it into LinkedIn, and you can also watch it back on the Ruck This and of course the Irish Rugby Banter group as well. My thanks are, as always, to my colleague in this endeavor. He is one of 6, 7 or 8. I don't know what it is. Matt Boland. Also, Mary Carroll of the OLSC. Mary Carroll, you are brilliant for joining us. We always enjoy having you on. This is your second time, I think. Yeah, we have you on again. Always good to talk to you. And of course, our special guest, the one and only Harry McNulty, Mr. McNuts himself. Actually, Harry, did you give yourself that nickname, McNuts, or is that a media thing?
I think so, yeah. It was my last name, just take out the L and the Y, so... That's
brilliant. Why not? Listen, Harry, you've been an absolute gentleman. It's been our pleasure to speak with you. Thank you very, very much.
Good to see you, Harry.
Gentleman.
Yeah.
There you
go. You,
All right, folks.
Listen, you too.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, folks. Good luck.
Harry,
take care.
Thanks, Neil. Mary, thanks, Neil. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.